Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Ben Olson, that's Nathan Fox. We're the founders of LSATdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. Live? Live.
Live.
The subject is Passage 3 of Reading Hub. Wow, I feel like we had the same subject line last week.
Hey, LSAT Demon. Love the podcast. I'm currently in my third year of undergrad, looking to go straight through to law school. Ben's already like, why? Why would you want to do that? What? For what possible purpose would you want to do that? Anyway, Liv says, I started studying in May with a diagnostic of 160. My practice tests were hovering around a high 160, low 170, so I decided to take the October test. Might be selling yourself a little short there, Liv. With a 160s diagnostic, I would expect you to get up into the mid 170s.
Yeah.
So, I'm not like super mad about it because you were feeling confident. You had already scored in the 170s a couple times.
Yeah.
It's fine. But, scores just came back and I got a 158, which I've never scored on a test before. The test felt better than any practice test I've done, so this was surprising to me. Any tips or common explanations for why this might happen and how to avoid it in future tests? And now it's clear that this is not, her subject was not passage 3 of reading comp.
Yep.
That's just a
Typo.
copy paste error from last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Liv, you got a score on your official test that is lower than your diagnostic, and you said you felt good about it. My hypothesis is that you felt good about it because you did more questions than you had on your practice tests or something like that. Or maybe you even finished and had time to spare. And so then you felt like it went so smoothly. But if you go quickly, you're going to get questions wrong.
Yeah. And I think that this is, Liv has a lot of potential. 160 diagnostic is an amazing diagnostic. Few months of studying, she's already high 160s, low 170s. She's feeling like she gets it. But then instead of just waiting until her practice tests were like solidly in the 170s, she goes and takes the October test and shoots for the moon. Oh, I'm on an upward trajectory. Yeah. I'm going to get 180 on the official test. And you basically tried for different, you tried something different and you got different results. But the different you got is not the different you were looking for. And that happens almost always when people shoot for the moon, they blow up on the launch pad. And that's what happens here. She just failed to actually read and understand the questions. She somehow sold herself, on the idea that she was doing it right.
Yeah.
But she was understanding not nearly enough of what she was reading. Liv might be, unfortunately, one of those people out there who are hysterical on Reddit talking about how the October test was so much harder. But I think we thoroughly debunked that on episode, whatever it was, episode 531 of the Thinking LSAT podcast. We went through report after report after report after report from people who killed the October test. So the October test wasn't harder, but there was a lot of this. There was a lot of people saying, oh, I thought I did great, and then doing really shitty.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Maybe there were just a lot of really attractive traps.
Especially if you didn't read closely enough.
Just,
yeah.
Well, or like didn't even read all 5 answers. Right? I mean, to make a question hard, all you have to do...
Make it tempting, you can answer A.
If there's if there's an easy... Well, what I was going to say is, if you want to turn an easy question into a harder question, if the correct answer was A, just move it down to D or E. Because so many times people just like, they get... I think maybe especially if they're thinking, oh, today's the day, I got to keep it moving, I got to hurry, I got to make sure I answer the first 10 questions in 10 minutes or whatever other bullshit advice like that they might have heard. Rush through the first 10, end up picking A and B a lot without even reading C, D, and E. Fall into a lot of just, yep, that's an attractive wrong answer if you didn't really read it. But if you read the rest of the answers, you'd realize there's another answer that's far better. And then you would have had to take the time to eliminate the answer A or B that you thought was right and pick this later answer.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, you just can't go from scoring sometimes in the 170s all the way down to a 158 if you're taking your time and actually understanding what you're doing. That's not possible. So you went too fast. Do we have any tips for Liv?
Make sure you treat the official tests like all your other practice tests, and also plan on taking the next official test after the one you're signed up for, so that mentally you're already set on the idea that this isn't special. This isn't one and done. This is going to be just another test in a line of tests.
Yeah, I hope you're registered for November, Liv. If not, actually, maybe I don't hope you're registered for November, because I'm not sure you should have registered for October. Yeah. Get back on the horse with your practice tests. Get those practice tests up solidly into the 170s, then register for an official test. But plan on taking up to 4 official tests in a row next time. So that first official test, it'll be your second overall official test. The next time you take the test officially, you want to be able to say, okay, I'm going to do exactly the same thing that I was doing on my practice test scores. Nothing different, nothing extra, not trying to squeak out a couple more points. Just, I'm going to get a score that's solidly within my range because I like my range. And that's the thing I think that Liv did wrong here. Tried for something on the upper end of her range or above her range. And yeah. Anything more?
No, thanks for writing in.
Thanks, Liv. Email daily at lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.